if the Bengals miss the playoffs this year, how will you view Joe Burrow moving forward?
How will I view Joe Burrow moving forward?
They miss the playoffs again.
If they miss can I add a caveat to this?
If he's healthy.
If he's healthy and he misses the playoffs, and Jaden Daniels goes far in the playoffs, I'm taking him out and I'm putting Jaden Daniels in. Sorry, bro. You can't miss the playoffs 3-4 straight years. It just can't happen 3 straight years. I don't care how bad your team is. I really don't care. After 3 years, I don't care how bad your team is. Especially when I saw Jake Browning come in for you. That
was 2 years ago.
Yes, and literally have the same record you did as a starter. They had the same record on the same team. Nothing changed. You know how we say, oh, you replace a guy, what happens? They got replaced. They had the same record. Both of them. So
But you can argue that
you got to make the playoffs, man.
You can argue with that one of them had the first half of the season was harder than the second half.
Which one was it? Which one had
Joe
hard?
Burrow. The Joe Burrow, he had the
sure?
first half of the season. I'm saying you can argue that. I'm not saying.
I mean,
that's,
I don't know if
that's
we could
for
argue
sure.
that. I don't know who they play.
What do you think?
I know. I completely agree with him. Like if he,
We're talking about playoffs. We're not talking about Super Bowls. We're talking about playoffs.
it also depends on how they lose.
Oh,
It's just well, honestly, man, he's not a big fan of that. It depends on how they lose, man.
you know why I'm not a big fan of that?
Why?
You know, I'm gonna hijack this fucking conversation. You know why I'm not a big fan of that? Because all you had to do was score 1 touchdown against the New England Patriots in Week 1 this year, and you would have been in the playoffs. That's all you had to do.
So
That's all you had to do.
Can I jump in?
That's all you had to do.
Can I jump in real
All
quick?
you had to do was when you played Lamar Jackson twice, and it was 1 possession game twice, and he closed out the game, and you didn't. That's all you had to do.
Okay,
and
Lamar
then you would have made the playoffs.
Lamar
do it
Jackson's-
1 time, and you would have made the playoffs.
Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback. Has a better defense as well. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I understand that. It's a
Okay.
1 possession game.
I understand.
The defenses are canceling each other out. It's
I
a 1
understand.
possession game. Make a play.
Here's what I'll say.
You do it 1 time, you're in the playoffs, bro.
You're not going to hijack this conversation.
You are not.
You're not. We're
So-
not allowing you to do it. Stop.
I haven't said any opinions. I'm just saying straight fact.
Here's what I'll say.
You're right.
If Joe Burrow came into this year, right, and had another season like he did last year, like an MVP season, and they didn't make the playoffs again, I don't move him out of the number 4 spot, and I'll tell you why. Because at some point, you're asking something from your quarterback that's just impossible at this point. Like if you're putting up MVP numbers, like if I just showed you Joe Burrow's numbers, right, and I said, where do you think this team ranks? You're thinking, you know what? I think this team made the playoffs and maybe lost in the first or second round, or they made the Super Bowl, right? You look at it, they lost in the playoffs, right? At some point, you're just asking for something that might just not be there, right?
You're
That means like at some point, like what else more? Yeah, Petty, you're not wrong. Maybe he could have scored a touchdown against the Patriots. Maybe his team couldn't come off slow.
Big deal, though.
It is a big deal, Hetty. But like,
just shove that on the side. That's a
I
big deal,
know
bro.
that, but it comes down to a point of like, how much more are we going to ask from this guy? Like, just honestly, and I don't like doing that, but it doesn't really happen often, Hetty. Like in football, where
It happens more often than you think.
no, it doesn't. No, hear me out. It doesn't really happen in football where a quarterback puts up like MVP type stats and a team doesn't make the playoffs.
Eddie, we had an argument last year. You guys got on me for that. I'm
No,
saying
I
about
had an
the
argument
MVP.
that the MVP because
That
I don't
the MVP
believe,
thing?
Yeah, no, that I don't.
But
Believe
like
that.
that, but that's my point. But like there was a talk about him being
No,
MVP.
I'm talking about ranking. Now.
I understand that,
Yeah,
but
I
like-
believe he shouldn't sniff the MVP talks.
Guys, he had some shitters last year that he shouldn't have. And if he doesn't have those shitters, they wouldn't.
Hetty,
They
we're
had the
talking
playoffs. I'm
about
sorry,
a
bro.
case
It's
though.
just what it is, bro.
Quarterbacks
Eddie,
have
if you're-
shitters, and your team's supposed to pick you up sometimes.
If anything about football, it's a team. It's actually a team game.
It is 100%.
Okay, it's more than basketball.
Does he have enough offensively to do it?
Yes, he doesn't
1,000%.
have enough.
Does
Yeah,
he have
okay.
enough defensively?
1,000%.
not.
He does not.
He does not. Hetty. He doesn't.
I just want you to do something for me. Tonight when you go home.
What's up?
And then maybe we can talk about
What's
it again
up?
next week. We can wrap around. I want you to go look at Matthew Stafford's defense last year.
Mm-hmm.
Just metrically. And I want you to look at Joe Burrow's and come back with your conclusion.
Matthew Stafford had a better defense.
Just go look at the metrics and come back with your
They didn't have a better
conclusions.
defense. No,
I don't wanna- I don't know.
Personnel-wise, they absolutely did. Personnel-wise.
The number-wise, they
We're
didn't
talking
have
about
it?
production.
Yes.
Go look at them. Come back.
Who was ranked as a higher defense?
Same thing. They're the same level.
No, they're not.
I swear to God, they are.
Who are you looking at right now?
I'm looking at ESPN. We're looking at ESPN total yards per game. The Los Angeles Rams last year allowed 353.1, and the Bengals allowed 348. If we look at passing yards, the Los Angeles Rams last year allowed 223 a game. The Bengals allowed 223 a game. If we look at total points, the Rams haven't beat them on total points. But if we look at total points, the Rams are Ya Bon Hamid. Where the Rams at? I can't find the Rams now. The Rams are at 22 a game, and the Bengals allowed 25 a game.
Yeah, it is.
So what are you trying to say right now?
They're better.
I'm trying to say metrically this. They're damn near this. They're
What do you?
They're
That's
identical
all you. That's all you're
defenses.
trying to say.
Yeah, they're identical defenses. And I just asked you about their offensive personnel. You told me better.
No, but I mean, had
Can we just be clear about something? There was games last year that Joe Burrow should have won, and he didn't. Is that fair to say about the fourth best fucking player in the league? Can we say that, bro?
Yes.
Is that okay?
But is it also?
Is it okay, bro?
But Hetty,
is it okay to say I would like the fourth best basketball, the fourth greatest
A lot of
quarterback
basketball.
in the league to be in the playoffs
But
once
Hetty,
in 4 years?
is it
That's
also
fair,
fair,
right?
Hetty? Is it
And
also
to be healthy?
Is it also
Pretty fair.
Hetty?
I would say it's fair, right?
Listen, healthy, we can't do that because at the end of the day, I can't control falling on my wrist and not having mobility in my wrist. Like, let's not do that with the injury thing. Like, no, seriously, I'm right or wrong. Like,
you're
like
right.
somebody,
on a rant about D-Mac, who's been hurt his whole career.
I never brought up hurt one time about T-Mac.
Exactly.
I just said that when he's in his prime, he didn't when he was on the
right
field.
now, Joe Burrow is prime, and he can't make the playoffs.
Hetty, basketball, football are two different things, bro.
I'm just giving you an example.
No, I know,
How
but I'm not-
injuries.
no.
Yeah, you can't control injuries, obviously.
No, but I'm talking
we said
about
if he's healthy.
in football and
But
basketball.
you can't. You said if he's healthy.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Hetty,
he's
what
healthy.
I'm trying to say on football and
misses the
basketball,
playoffs.
one guy could change the dynamic of a whole floor because of what he could do on both sides
Yeah,
of
and
the
the
field.
reason why we rank those quarterbacks so fucking high in football is because one guy could change the whole dynamic of your team.
Yes,
Or at least
and he
I
does,
thought.
Hetty.
At least I thought.
He does,
At least
Hetty.
he does not enough to make the playoffs.
I think of all the
Not
elite,
enough to make the playoffs.
I believe of this is not what I believe. It's just factual. All the elite quarterbacks, he has by far been given the worst hand of them all.
I would highly disagree because Jaden Daniels might be dealt a worse hand than him.
Jaden Daniels has been in the league for 1 year. Let's just see.
But that's why I said the caveat is if
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels goes far this year with that same team that he has,
I'm just
even though they
talking
made
about
some
of who
changes,
we
but if he
compare-
goes far and now Joe Burrow doesn't make the playoffs again, I'm sorry, bro. Like all the arguments start crumbling, all of them. The defense arguments, the not
No,
enough
the
help
defense,
arguments.
Hetty, is not.
They all start crumbling,
Hetty,
bro.
it's not the.
And he's in a harder division, arguably. They all start crumbling.
Who's in a
bro.
harder?
Jaden was arguably in a harder division.
No, wasn't he in the worst division of them all?
What's the worst division of them all?
With the Ravens and the Steelers, they both made
yes,
the
the
playoffs.
Steelers win 10 games a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're running into
The Eagles won 14.
and that was it last year. The fucking Eagles and the Cowboys blew. You know what?
But the Cowboys could win 11, 12 games
But
this year.
we're talking.
And now he's in a division that has two teams that won
the
the
NFC North-
games a
the
year.
NFC
The NFC North was the best
Yeah, the
division.
NFC North is
The
always
NFC North.
But the
tough.
AFC North for the longest was the hardest division of football.
I understand that.
Yeah.
One team won 9, other one won 10.
But
But let's just no. One team won 9,
Okay.
one team won 10.
We're not talking about that though.
No, that's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about how hard the division is. One team
Okay.
won 9,
Okay.
the other one won 10.
Okay.
Okay. And then the Baltimore Ravens won 12. That was the division. There's a lot of divisions in football that was like that. There was a lot.
They're not
there
the
was a
hardest,
lot.
but they're not the hardest divisions in football.
Last year, the AFC North was not by far the hardest division.
It was
of football.
not.
It was by
I know.
far not the
But
hardest.
it's harder
wasn't.
than it was better. It was harder than the NFC East.
Yes, last year it was. This year I don't know.
We'll see.
This year I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do you know?
No, we'll see.
Okay.
I'll go back to the question. If he puts up MVP numbers again, there's something clearly wrong. I'm not going to push him back
I told you I'm hijacking. I'm hijacking.
He said it from the
I'm
beginning.
hijacking.
I'll give him that at least.
Because you know what?
You're
This
not
Joe
buying
Burrow
it.
conversation pisses me off here. Well, it really
I don't
truly
get
does,
why
bro.
it does.
There's
It
no
really
reason.
truly does.
There's no
bro.
reason for
No,
that.
there's a lot of reason.
Why?
Because we just assume he's fourth.
Yeah, he is.
We just he's fourth.
I mean, he is.
And he could do nothing.
Because
nobody
he
could
is.
do anything.
No.
Nobody could do shit
No.
to place him out.
No,
No, Jada could do it this
Wait,
year.
no, who said that though?
Jada could do it this year.
Who said that though?
Jada could do it this year.
Sure.
maybe.
Easily.
Sure. And we'll see what happens
Honestly,
with Jaden,
we'll
bro. We'll see. Like,
He doesn't belong in the same breath as Josh and Lamar, bro. Fuck out of here.
I'm not going to go that far.
Wallah, he doesn't, bro.
I'm
To me,
about
those guys are clearly better than you.
Nah, as a pocket quarterback, he's the best one out of all of them.